How the turbine came to be, about 2 or 3 years ago, the school's administration did a carbon footprint analysis for the school and decided they wanted to do a couple things. One, reduce the carbon footprint for the school, and one, also introduce renewable energies to our curriculum. So the wind turbine was one of 2 projects we've done here on campus. We also have a photovoltaic system up on this roof in this building to go with the wind turbine down the street. The turbine is a direct drive system that when the wind pushes the blades, it spins a generator inside the top of the turbine, which then in turn creates the electricity that we need for the building that it's tied to. The faster the wind, the more electricity it creates. It is taken care of by a company called Altiris. They're located here in Providence locally, and they have a service contract with the school that they come out and do their yearly maintenance on it. The students, unfortunately, aren't allowed to work on that one. They need to go through some pretty extensive classes to climb that tower. We're not even allowed to climb the tower. So we use it as a working lab, if you will. They monitor the information, the amount of energy the turbine produces. We go through all the parts for this particular turbine because it is a little bit different than some of the other ones around. So they do learn a lot about our turbine, but they're not allowed to work on it. The energy created by the turbine is fed into our automotive technology building, right down the parking lot here. And that's all it feeds, is just that one building. And that building is also tied to the grid, utility grid. So it pulls power from both the turbine and the utility grid. So the turbine does nothing more than offset some of the electricity that we would use normally from pulling from the utility grid. The project did take a little over a year from inception, determining the size of the turbine, how big we wanted it to be, how big we're allowed to have it. The original plans showed it too close to the highway, so DOT wanted us to move it to a totally different location. They had to do the soil analysis again at this different location, things like that. So all the pre-engineering stuff took well over a year to do. Once the construction started, my aha moment was the fact that it went up in 2 days. It was pretty amazing to watch the fact, and some of the pictures you'll see tonight, it just, once the hole was dug and the concrete was cured, the thing went up in 2 days. I mean, I think probably one of the biggest problems with wind power today is everybody is complaining, not in my backyard. I don't want to see that thing, I don't want to hear that thing. I think they look magnificent. I really do. Off on the horizon, you see a couple of them spinning, and I live down in Newport, and the Navy base is talking about putting 6 of them up on the Navy base, and I already know the city of Newport's not going to like that. So that's what I like about them, is their looks. This particular unit has black blades, and it's called the Arctic model, if you will. This is the same one they use in Alaska. And Rhode Island DOT, Department of Transportation, again, because it's so close to Route 95, they were afraid that during the winter you may have ice build up on the blades, and they didn't want the ice to come flying off and into the highway. So the idea behind the black blades, absorb the sunlight and melt the ice quicker than it can be built up. Initially, when it first went up and started spinning, we were getting 10, 12 phone calls a day. The school, and then the school would funnel them all to our department. And we got some pretty interesting questions, you know, like how come it's not spinning? Well, it's not windy today, things like that. So we had to explain how it works to everybody that called on the phone. So initially, yeah, there was a rather large interest. Since it's been up now for a little over 2 years, it's become, you know, a landmark more or less, and it's a lot less questions because it's been here for a little bit of time now.